Anderson with DyVerse Conversations, and my guest today is the multi-talented songwriter, producer, guitarist, Mr. David P. Stevens, also known as Mr. Guitar.
Hey y'all, what's going on? Thank you so much for having me, Monique.
Thank you for being able to free your time up and giving us this wonderful interview.
Oh, no problem at all. No problem at all.
So let's start with Mr. Guitar. How did you get that name? How did that come about?
So Mr. Guitar, it's funny. I had a friend named Nate who used to go on these rants all the time, and he would just like, he would walk in the room and I would have my shades on. He would, Mr. Guitar, you don't have no friends, you just got fans, Mr. Guitar. And he would do all this stuff, and like people would be laughing and stuff like that, and the name just kind of stuck. And so it was like, you know, one of those cool things. So I just ended up putting it on the album, called the album Mr. Guitar, and then a lot of people have just been calling me that ever since.
Okay. What does the P stand for? David P. Stevens. What does the P stand for?
So my middle name is Paul, but now people have been adding all kinds of stuff. David P. Funk, David Party. Like they just call all kinds of stuff now. So
David, you also have a new album that's coming out, scheduled to be released August 3rd.
August 3rd.
Called Rogue.
Yes, Rogue. So I'm excited about Rogue because it's one of those albums. It's a signature piece. You know, I felt like I kind of stepped out a little bit. You know, in this industry, you have people talking to you about, you know, you should do this, you should do that, and they're all good suggestions. But then there's a time as an artist where you just kind of need to ignore the suggestions and just kind of go on your own way. Yeah, and that's what Rogue is.
So how did you derive the name Rogue? It's just like, it's not a common name for an album. So where did that name come from? How did it start?
Right. So the whole concept of going rogue is ignoring everybody and just kind of going your own direction. Yeah. And I feel like my music largely has kind of done that anyway through my whole career. Just kind of like it's not necessarily smooth jazz. It's not necessarily. I've been called a genre bender. So, and so, you know, Rogue is kind of more of that, but just even more of it. So.
You've had other albums. What differentiates this album from the Rogue album from all the other previous albums that you've had in the past?
So Rogue kind of goes back to my musicianship. And like growing up in Philadelphia, you had to play. And like it wasn't like you could just get up there and play something real cute. Like the older guys were on you. You had to play. Man, that's not music. That's not. So this album features more of me playing, more of the other artists playing. Takes us back to that 90s hip hop a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of more upbeat for the younger crowd, or it's the upbeat type of feel.
Definitely younger crowd, but also doesn't lose my older audience that's been with me from the beginning. So
you're extremely talented. What other instruments do you play outside of the guitar?
Wow. So I play bass. Bass will probably be my second instrument. I play keys, but I do it largely for writing and production. I also do, sing and and little stuff like that. So because I grew up in a church where whoever didn't show up, that's what you played. So the bass player didn't show up for like 6 years or something like that.
You have to be multifaceted.
Right.
You play the drums. You have to play keyboard.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot drums too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what other artists are on your CD that you have for Rogue?
So on this particular album, Marcus Anderson, amazing saxophone player. Also Mark Kibble from the group Take Six is on there, and Carol Riddick. Just a host of people. Chill Moody, who's an upcoming rapper in Philadelphia who's really starting to get a lot of fame. He was on the album as well, and just a real diverse crew of people. My son.
Before you went solo, you were background for a lot of renowned, musicians. Mm-hmm. So you want to name some of those musicians, or like before you went solo?
Well, most of the stuff that's listed like in my bio is stuff that once I started going solo, and that was working with artists like Najee featured me, which was really cool. Gerald Albright featured on my album. Jakeem Joyner, Frank McComb.
Oh wow!
Wow, I'm trying to remember all the people. Pamela Williams. just wow, it's just a list of Steve Cole. I'm trying to remember everybody. There's so many, but and then before that, I did a lot of stuff in the gospel realm. So I used to, so Lisa McClendon, I wrote and produced her project, and used to play in her band.
Nice.
Who else? I played behind.
Pretty well-rounded. You've been in the industry for quite a while.
For quite a while. I moved to Nashville right out of college, and then so I was in the gospel scene there, and then moved back home and jumped back into my jazz career.
So aside from that, who are your influences? Like, who inspired you to go into jazz?
Wow, so many people. Well, I'll list a couple. George Benson. When I first started out playing, I got excited because I heard his music, more of his straight ahead stuff. So I was like a big fan of George. And then Norman Brown, I was about 16 years old and I heard a Norman Brown album. And I was like, this is where I want to go.
Hooked.
Yeah, this is it. So I started buying jazz just like a fiend. Like I was, oh man, I gotta go here, I gotta get this, and this. So Norman, and then a guy named Hiram Bullock, who he was like off the cuff. He was a jazz musician, but he did what he wanted to do. And I feel like I patterned a lot after him.
Their style or whatever.
Stylistically.
Into your own.
So this is an Epiphone Les Paul guitar, and the cool thing about this is I just recently became endorsed with Epiphone. And once I got the guitar, I just kind of did some custom work to kind of put the David P. Stevens kind of stank on it, you know what I mean? So it had add a little leopard and the wood knobs.
So these are all added, actually.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Kind of signature.
Right. So if you're going to try to get a David P. Stevens guitar, you gotta, ask for the specifics. So,
so you want to play us a little something?
You wouldn't be able to hear it now because no amplifier.
Oh,
but,
okay.
Yeah.
So this is not an electric guitar.
This is an electric guitar. Yeah, you would have to plug this in to hear it.
Okay, not this time.
Right, you would have to come to my show.
Okay,
yeah.
Exactly.
So this is David P. Stevens. You can find me on Instagram, David P. Stevens, Twitter, David P. Stevens, Facebook is David P. Stevens Official, and then the website is davidpstevens.com. And you can pick up Rogue anywhere where you buy music. It's coming August 3rd, and this has been DyVerse Conversation.